All right, so this is our second video review, yeah. And this is the game last night against Gonzaga. Before we get into this, I just want to remind everybody this is not meant to put anybody down. This is a learning tool. If you happen to be on the ice or you're a player that we're talking about at that particular time, don't let it get to you. Everybody here are making the same mistakes. All right. At the same time, if it's not you, that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay attention. You should be paying attention. This is how we get better as a hockey team. We've had some success the last couple of games. That's great. We're improving, but we need to continue to improve and continue to move forward. Otherwise, we become stagnant and we start to lose hockey games. So we got to keep the momentum going, and this is how we do it. So this particular clip is actually on the forecheck, and it's probably more of a little bit of a tweak to our forecheck. It's not a bad job done, but let's just play it forward and let's watch what happens here on this play. As the puck gets dumped in, which is great. I love to see the dump in. And what I will say is we want to be a little bit more aggressive on the puck here. We were kind of a little bit too laxy daisy. All right. We can see that we got one forechecker right here. All right. He's the first guy kind of engaging the puck here. We got a winger over here, and actually the other guy is about up here. He'll actually come into the screen in a moment. And what will actually happen is that this guy is actually coming on, and he's trying to push him toward the boards, which is, that's a good job. But this guy here comes down and also engages. So now all of a sudden, we're going to have two guys on the puck here, right here. There's times maybe we want to do this. There's other times we don't, because what's going to happen is I believe they're going to move the puck through the middle here, and there's no one really there to stop it. So let's just play it forward and watch what happens. Okay, so there you go. Um, you can see that you can't really see it in the screen here, but this guy actually got the puck. There wasn't enough pressure on the puck here, really. He was able to move that fairly well. The other thing is that the other winger that came down. Now we got two guys right here. So let me just mark it. We got one winger here in the center of the ice, and we got two guys actually down here out of position. So now they're moving up the ice, and they're going on a 3-on-2, and we've got three guys back. That need to get back into the play. What should happen here is the first guy should have engaged quicker on the puck here. All right, you got to keep your feet moving. The second guy should be coming down and cutting off through the middle, but also up the boards. Right, if this guy tries to move that puck to the boards, we want to get over to the boards and stop it, and we could have put it back into the zone fairly quickly. This guy's not in too bad a position. He's back checking, so that's not too bad. But just little tweaks that we want to make sure that we take care of, again, to help us improve as we move forward. Okay, so in this clip, we're breaking out of our zone, and the centerman actually comes out from behind the net, and he puts the puck over to this winger. I'm not a fan of going through the middle. It usually causes us issues, but in this case, this guy was wide open. What I will say is that it was close, so we want to make sure we're careful with it. But you know what? At the end of the day, this guy was wide open as opposed to this guy who had a defenseman fairly close to him, so it wasn't the wrong move. That's for sure. The issue comes with this swinger here, right here on the side, who actually gets the puck. When he gets the puck, he is actually projecting and he's letting everybody in the rink know where he's going to pass that puck. He's looking straight over at this swinger over here, and he's trying to give that puck to that guy. And you know what? Normally, you might say that there's nothing wrong with that, but the problem with that is that you're trying to go right across the ice. You'll see that there's at least three Gonzaga players in the way, and it eventually ends up in us losing the puck and them transitioning back down the ice. As opposed to, and the other thing is, of course, he slows down when he's making this pass. He actually starts to slow down. As opposed to, look at all this space he's got. Look at all this. He's got that entire lane to take that puck and go with it. You got this lane, you take it. You skate down the ice, you bring it down, get it down deep. I mean, he might even be able to beat that defenseman. This defenseman looks like he's kind of off balance here a little bit. So start skating that puck. As soon as if you get to the red line and you still got space, take it in, right? But if you get to this red line and you got pressure on you, then you know what? Dump the puck in. Drew Dillon, I've seen Drew Dillon do this a few times. He gets to the red line and he's got a guy in front of him. Instead of trying to do a fancy little move around the defenseman, he just puts it by him and then skates around him. If they hold you up, they're going to get a penalty. So let's just play this forward and watch what happens. So here you go. He slows down. He tries to make the pass, and their defenseman intercepts it. And now they're going to transition down the ice, as opposed to just doing the simple play. This is not a complicated game. Doing the simple play, bring the puck down the ice. Like I said, if he starts to get pressure from this defenseman, put it in deep, skate onto it. If the defenseman interferes with it, he's going to get a penalty from it. Or you might beat this guy. And then we got you going to the net, and we got this guy who's right here. He's crashing the net. As opposed to what we have here right now, which is they're going to take that puck and they're going to transition and they're going to go back up the ice, right? And we're back down on our end again. So these simple little things, guys, make a big difference in a hockey game. Huge difference. All right? You got to start listening to us when we're telling you this stuff. All right? Okay, so this is something that we all are doing, frankly. I've seen this on numerous occasions. Some guys do it to a greater extent than others, but this has got to stop. This has got to stop. We can't be doing this because really we are doing the work for the opposition team, and that is basically taking this puck and skating it back into our zone. Right now in this clip, the puck is right here. Okay, we got two guys here with the puck. We can see there's a Gonzaga player here. We got one of our guys here, one of our guys here, and here. So we can see that we got 5 of our guys are right here. We got one Gonzaga guy, and there's all kinds of open ice right here. However, actually, there's another Gonzaga guy right here too. However, this puck will go from on the offensive side of the red line all the way down to here. And not one Gonzaga player will actually touch the puck until it actually gets down here. And this has got to stop. Like I said, we do this. Every time we do this, it gets us in trouble. And it's not one person. It's multiple people. It's everybody in the team. I see this all the time. We'll have the puck in this area here. We'll just have to get the puck out of the blue line. And instead, guys will skate the puck all the way down into our zone. And we can keep getting in trouble. I don't know why this is. Maybe we're afraid to get hit. But again, we go back to the simple play. The simple thing to do is just to put it off the boards and out. In this case, all we had to do was turn. And this guy is behind you anyways. There's no one here. If you start to get pressure out from these guys, dump the puck in. Right? And instead of ending up down in our zone, we're down in their zone. And we're deep in their zone. And we're keeping the pressure on them. And depending on what time the period is, if it's a second period, they've got a long change and we don't. Right, so let's just play it forward here and watch what happens. So you can see we take the puck and all of a sudden we go all the way back down our own zone. We're actually getting tangled up with each other. So you can see that puck went from right here to all the way down here. And not one Gonzaga player has actually touched that puck at this point here. We did a little move around this guy, but we're actually down below our goal line at this point. And this defenseman is actually going to he's going to come over here in a second, and he's going to try to put this puck right out through the middle of the ice. And it's going to get us in trouble again. But this all started with one play right here at the red line. When all we had to do was do a quick turn and dump the puck in. All right? Instead, we're trying to be fancy. I got no problem. I mean, I want us to be a puck possession team, but we got to be smart about how we do it. Okay, if we've got pressure and there's potential we could lose that puck, then you know what? Keep the game simple, get it in deep, work it down deep. We've seen already that when we do that stuff, we have success. But when we do this, we play with the puck, we have problems. So let's just play forward, watch what the defenseman does. There we go. See the defenseman again, here we are, we're trying to be fancy, right? And all we got to do is keep it simple. Now, in all fairness to the defenseman, if he tried to rim this puck around the boards this way or this way, there's no one there. There's no one to pick up those pucks. I think this guy here is going for a change. We got another guy below the goal line here. We got a player here, which, okay, we're in the house. That's great. We got another guy here, so we're kind of not really getting outnumbered in front of our house, but in front of our net. But again, this is an issue. This is a problem that we've caused for ourselves at the end of the day. And goals are scored because of chaos. And when it's bad enough when the other team is causing chaos against us by forcing us into play, but when we're doing it to ourselves, that's what's going to cost us hockey games at the end of the day. We got to stop this, right? And we're going to put a stop to this immediately. We're going to nip this in the butt, one way or another. Okay. So this clip here is actually in a face-off in the Gonzaga zone, and our normal centerman has actually been thrown out of the face-off, but Chase is actually here. So Josh is over here. He was in for the face-off, and he got kicked out. So Chase came in here. The problem I have here is look how Gonzaga is setting up. All right, now this is the way we are typically setting up. They've got their defenseman here. They've got a winger here, a defenseman probably here, and a winger here. And of course, we know that if we win this face-off, the puck's coming back right here, right? Ideally, all right? The problem is this guy is coming right through here, and Josh is way over here, all right? Our winger, whoever that is, needs to be here, because what you're going to do is you're going to run in here and you're going to make a pick, all right? You're going to stop him from going through you. You're going to make him go around you, all right? That's the idea. Or you're going to come in here and pick up the puck and put it back to the defenseman. The other thing is the defenseman should be more up here on the top of the circle, so you're in a position to get the puck. We can do a number of things here on the face-off if we want. The main thing is that this guy, we got to have that guy in here running this pick or getting to that puck. We got to win that face-off. So Chase actually wins the face-off back here. But of course, like I said, this swinger's out of position. This defenseman's not in a position to get the puck, and they actually get the puck and off our win. This should never happen. What we could do here on this play is when the puck comes back to here, this defenseman, if he's in a position here, he could step up and put it back to that defenseman for a shot. This forward, like I said, should be here. He'll run the pick, give a little bit extra time. This forward here, when he sees this happen, he should be going to the net, right? As soon as he sees we get possession, so that we got bodies in front of the net. And of course, this guy here, when he runs his pick, once he sees this guy gets the puck, he's going to the front of the net for a shot. But the main thing here, guys, is that we got to be in position for our faceoffs. We'll play it forward here and just watch what happens and how not being in position is causing us issues. So there you go. So we just won that faceoff. And what do we have here? We got one of our guys. We got 1, 2, 3. So first of all, our centerman did not take his centerman. He stepped around him. He went right around. That's this guy right here, I believe. The winger here, this guy came up, no opposition for him at all. All right. This guy was just standing there watching this happen, and so was this guy. So they're now going down the ice with a 3-on-2. And we're just standing there on a face-off that we actually won. You can't let this happen, guys. Like I said, if the defenseman was a little further up to pick up that puck, and this forward was in position to help run a pick and give an extra second or half second or whatever for a defenseman to move, great. Now, if you are that defenseman, before you put it back to this other defenseman, make sure he's clear. Make sure he doesn't have a guy barreling down on him. But guys, this is the little stuff, the little things like this. Again, are what cost hockey games. It's the difference between winning and losing. All right. We got lucky here. Obviously, they didn't score, but this is when we win face-offs, we should be getting an advantage. In this case here, we won the face-off, and they came out with the advantage. So again, this is stuff we need to work on to make ourselves better.